Just this little faint whisper of a hi. So I look over and there's just this sweet little kid with this little curious eyes, and I was like, oh, hi. And this was the first time I'd ever seen a kid in a wheelchair in person. Like whispers again to me, he's like, do you know how to do wheelies? And I was like, oh, heck yeah, I know how to do some wheelies. Want to see me do some? And he was like, mm-hmm. So I started doing wheelies, and then he just like lit up like a beam. He just got all excited, and he was getting this big old smile and laughter and everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, how precious is he? Started to do the wheelies, and we started doing wheelies and spinning and stuff. And I was like, do you know how to do wheelies? And he was like, oh, kinda, a little bit. So then his dad came over and started helping him. I was like, oh, I could just cry. This is such a beautiful moment. Since then, we've actually gone out to get ice cream a couple times, and we'll race, and we'll play choo-choo trains, and we'll do wheelies again. And now he's helping us at dinner. He wants to set the table. He wants to like go out and do all these things, and he just saw you, and he wants to be like you. So it's just like, makes me want to cry now. I got injured when I was 19. I was in an accident, and but I mean, up until that point, I was able-bodied. And the perspective it's given me to how I view time spent with my loved ones, and it just really makes me present, because I'm like, man, I almost died, and I could die tomorrow. That's why I just want to change it, because I didn't see life like that before. It's like you can have this really awful, terrible thing happen to you, but then you see it in the eyes of a kid, and they don't see it that way. They just see it as oh, cool, you have a wheelchair, you know, you're like a car, you're like this toy, and you can have fun with it. I think that you don't realize how important that is for kids to see too. Like, oh, like I belong here, and I can have that life too, and I can be living it on my own one day, and I can be happy. You know, it's so important to see, and it's just cool to think about that I got to be that for someone.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're too fast.
Let's go.